Good morning, everyone. It is a crispy, I think it was 15 degrees this morning on the good old thermometer. And let's see, we've got November 26th today. So we're cruising through here, finally starting to look like, take a little peek. Today's job site, a couple inches of snow, maybe got 2.5 inches. We got old Bob the Bobcat warming up here this morning. We'll let him idle a good little long while, get him in the mood to work. This is a prime example. I really love having this roll-off trailer. We can throw everything we need in one of these dumpsters and have it ready to go to our job site. Last night I had another dumpster that was full, so I was able to unload it, grab a fresh one, load it up with today's equipment, and you don't have to spend so long loading and unloading and hooking and unhooking different trailers. You can do it all with one trailer, which is really nice. So we set up here today on the driveway because although I would have loved to drive down here, be a little closer to those trees that were taken down, by the time you get loaded with logs, even a small hill like this, you're just spinning. It's just no fun. That truck is still less than a year old, and of course it came with wonderful highway tires on it. Not equipped for northern Minnesota winters, so we're trying to wear those down to put some nice all-terrains on there here later this year. We'll go take a little walk around, take a look at these trees. It's a fairly straightforward job. Just me today. No Jarrett on this job. No Blake on this job. And we're just gonna take these trees down here. We've got a few of these marked with ribbon. The customer was able to take a peek. What we like to do when we can't meet with our customers is come through and flag everything that we want to remove or that we think the customer would like removed, and take good pictures of it. And then we can send all those notes to the customers, and they can add or remove flagging as they prefer. And it's a great way to communicate with them, even if we're not able to meet in person. So when I stopped by, they weren't home. They weren't going to be home today for the completion of this project. So these little flags just make sure we're on the right page. Communication is key. We've gained a lot of customers because other tree companies, excavation companies, haven't clearly communicated their needs of the customers, and what ends up happening is you end up getting trees removed you didn't want, or they end up not removing enough trees, or leaving the debris on site when you wanted it taken off. So really try to focus on clear communication in our estimates and in our quotes, just to make sure we're giving the customers exactly what they're looking for. Oh, sorry, it's kind of cold. Throat's a little raspy this morning. But this is an easy job here today. We're just gonna hook up with the Bobcat with these and pull these guys right over here into the lawn. And then we won't limb everything up out here. We'll actually just leave the limbs on the trees, cut the trees maybe in half or in thirds, and grab them with the Bobcat and bring them all the way back up to the trailer up there. Ooh, I gotta put my gloves on. A little chilly here this morning. So, after we get those bad boys loaded in the trailer, there's maybe, 5 or so trees. And I'm really hoping, if I play my cards right, I can dice them into small enough pieces to pack them in this dumpster and get them all out of here in one load today. We'll haul one load of debris and then hopefully come back and grab the skid steer and be out of this project for a day. We bid it just as one day, and we're really hoping we get her done here nice and easy with just me. But we'll see how it goes. We'll check in once we get debris loaded. And up we go. We got all of the trees beautifully loaded in the dumpster today. I should say this morning. We were leaving the job site by 11:15. We spent about 3.5 hours getting trees on the ground and getting them loaded. Still have to go back and grab the rest of our equipment and finish cleaning up, but all of the major debris is out and done. That's pretty exciting. This is always the most labor-intensive part of the job, is getting everything on the ground, getting everything loaded up. So the fact that we're done with that, today's going beautifully. Took us almost an hour to get back to our dump here just north of Big Fork. Was driving a whole 45 miles an hour. Everybody probably hates me on the road, but with a loaded trailer like this, I don't want to be cruising like a maniac. I'd rather take a little extra time, take her slow. So we got her. We'll check back in on the job site. And we are back. It is, maybe about 2 o'clock. We'll give you a little site tour here again. So these trees are all down. Site cleaned up pretty nice. There's some very small, there'll be little tiny pieces just like that laying around, and typically what we do is we'd rake the yard really well, and then we'd break out the leaf blower and blow any little needles into a little pile, and we'd clean up every little speck of debris. But what ends up happening is a lot of it gets matted down in the snow in here, kind of gets melted in with the snow and the grass, and you can sit here and rake and rake and rake the snow, and actually all you end up doing is kind of ripping up the grass a little bit. And then in the springtime, you can see where we sat there and raked and raked and raked to try to get all the snow and the debris out. So what we do is we do a really good job of, we go over it once with a rake and make sure that we get all the big pieces, and if there's any little tiny stuff left, we'll offer to come back in the spring and either blow off their yard or their driveway or anything. Usually customers say they can't even notice in the spring where we were, but we still like to make the offer. We don't like to damage anybody's lawn in the process. So that's kind of what we end up doing for winter work. They opted to leave these couple of trees over here. These were not marked. Well, I should say I originally had those couple marked for removal, and they wanted a little bit of a buffer there between them and their neighbor. So they're leaving those guys up there. They look just fine, but they've got a nice big open area here. Ground was able to freeze tight. We were originally going to do this project last week, but it just got so wet. We got rain, maybe 7-8 days ago, and it was just, everything was soggy. So I did not want to come in here and rip up these guys' lawn for them. So we opted to wait. Things froze up tight over the weekend a little bit. We didn't put a ton of frost in the ground, but at least the top layer is good and solid. And then we got a couple inches of snow. So that helped stiffen up the ground and then save the grass a little bit where we needed to run the skid steer, and everything turned out really nice here now. So they're losing lots of little limbs from their birch here. Surprise, surprise. But come springtime, shouldn't even know we were here. A lot of this dirt that you see here in with the snow is just where we're down to the grass and the driveway here through the snow. So everything turned out really nice. We're loaded back up. We got the old Bobcat strapped down in there, and we're ready to rock. So, although it looks like this is all the job entails, we had about an hour of loading truck and trailer before we rolled. We had the job itself, and now we've got to wash this beast. Skid steer is going to get washed off and greased and topped off with fuel, and probably tomorrow after the job site, we're going to wash this truck and trailer off because she's been bad roads today. So that puts a wrap on it. Thanks for tuning in for this project here. We'll get this dumpster on the trailer and we're out of here.